Alrighty. We are live.
Right, while we're waiting for Sezgul to rejoin, do you want to run through a recap of the last session?
Shall I?
Sure.
Yeah, we can make it a group effort, but yeah, you can lead us.
As I recollect, our doughy adventurers returned from a successful slaying and an unsuccessful attempt to catch emerald or glass frogs, which I think we should revisit now that my magic's better, assuming they're animals. At that point, we returned a whole stack of weapons back to a series of shockingly friendly ogres. They explained the finer points of their cosmology and faith. And we learned more about their vengeance deity, which I think we can all agree is pretty dang heavy metal. We've also discerned that the best approach to descend down to a place of ways, which would allow us to transport throughout the island, is across the eastern side. Z has a cat who I will need to know the name of. And we simply decided that going through the lava route is probably safer than trying to track past the giant obsidian monsters. Now, in regards to the cat.
His name is Solaire. He's a very bad boy.
He's a very beautiful boy.
Yeah, he's very handsome. He knows he's handsome, but he's not well behaved. He's a bit of a demon.
They all are.
We have one of those too.
But he's very
That's why we love them.
Yeah. So if you see me like rush off camera, it's because I'm rescuing something. It's usually a wire like this one back here.
Yeah. I hate the wire
worst
thing. I hate it when cats get that in their head.
They like Apple brand wires as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. They can tell they're expensive.
I had a cat that loved to eat wires, and we got this like bitterant spray to like make things like taste awful, and they loved it. They ate it even more.
Oh,
exactly what happened to me. Exactly what happened. Same story. Hilarious. I thought it was so smart. Like, I keep on buying all of the special sprays and stuff to make cats comfortable, and they're just like, you know what? We're just in a bad mood. That's really funny.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Okay. What else happened last session?
Met their gods, we got some obsidian things done, we checked out these pillars and found out about merfolk or something.
Yes.
The Numidians.
So I do need to retcon that.
Okay.
I think I gave the wrong name.
You noted that we saw the humanoids passing by in the night. We saw the gray disintegrating shadow. We found out about the shadow lilies. Zurtok is apparently going to become a new disciple of the god of vengeance.
Yeah, boy.
Yes.
And we got an axe of slaying fire beings. Or something of the sort.
Yeah, it's a great axe that's strong against those from planes of fire. Wow, I took notes and now I can't find my note. All right. Well, anyways, I think it's Nimiads is how it's pronounced. I think I threw some extra syllables in there last time, so yes. Okay, that sets us up pretty well. If we want to look at the map page, our path was kind of rolling down, like just as I said, the east side of the island, and we're working our way over to HS-23 eventually. Is that why we want to get to the place of ways?
Yep.
That's right. Yep, taking not quite the coast, kind of the coast, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't think that we can quite do, but I think that we're going to have to go through those old elven lava fields, which is like two separate words for death, lava and elves. So, you know. I do, one of the things I really like about this setting is how much we all just straight up hate elves. I think that's super cool. Like, really, I think that it's cool to have like this nemesis race who's really scary and we're really mad at. I love that.
But also,
glad that I
like,
timed
kind
my
of don't
turn.
exist, but kind of exist.
Right.
We'll
They
give you
exist
that.
enough to hate. Okay. So yeah, just out of character really quick, I did say if you do want to move through the unnumbered hexes that have island content still in it, we can do that. There's just not going to really be much to find there besides what you would find through random encounters.
Right. We do want
Yeah.
to pick up loot along the way, so I think we're gonna go the
Okay.
populated route, right?
Cool.
Yeah, I think so. I think that my desire for loot, which comes from 2 different places, is going to drive me despite the danger.
I think you and I have that in common.
Good. Fantastic. We'll ally then.
Ja
I'm sorry,
already
I'm
assumes he's
an
dead.
idiot about this interface. I am like looking everywhere and not finding the equipment button.
Sorry. If you can navigate to the home tab
The
Right.
home.
on the top bar in Foundry. It'll say home,
That's
and
that
then
I was looking at the
it looks
map.
like a desk.
Okay.
And then there's cards on the bottom left. One will say equipment or equip. And you
Okay.
click that, it pops up a journal entry. And then your chronicler journal is in. If you click the journal, it'll pop up the journal itself is a journal entry that's editable. Are you finding that?
Yeah, I found it.
Okay.
Do we still have those peppers? Or did we use them all?
I think only one was used for flavor, making like a dinner, but I think there's like 4 more left. Is that right, Zernak? We can't hear you.
Sorry, I'm mindful of my noise. I believe so. I'm honestly going to go out of my way to like stratagem. It's a good thing to eat that I know for certain isn't going to poison me in a significant manner and will poison me in a slightly pleasurable manner. So yeah, I want all of them.
Very good.
I threw them in towards the bottom. Special jalapenos.
I love fantasy versions of things too. You know,
Here's our handsome demon. If you want to look.
he's
There he
very
is.
It's so cute.
Oh
Oh!
no! They're so
pretty normal.
opinionated, aren't they? My wife and I have a saying: "Cats choose, they decide. We
Yeah.
just accommodate."
That's right.
They are the Dom.
I love them. My one of my older cat. We're going to Chicago, and so normally we just have our friends come and look at them, but our old man cat Rupert is sick. I think he's on the mend, but he's definitely been under the weather, and we could lose him. You know, it's serious. He's 16. So we've hired some cat sitters at exquisite expense, almost luxurious. It's impossible, but they need to make a living, so I can't complain that much. I'm going to complain.
Only the best for these guys.
Right.
Yeah. It's a necessary expense, I feel. I don't know. That's one of the things that's been on my mind. I love these guys so much. I love my cats so much. They're such good friends. Even when they're being... I'm going to shut up. I'm moving aside from the game. Let's focus on the game.
Amadan, were you able to find everything you needed?
Yes, I've got the equipment sheet open.
Okay.
So
Cool.
To the map.
All right, so onto the map page. I believe we've kind of recapped ourselves out here, and we're ready to start moving. So, where are you gonna go, and how are you all gonna go about getting there?
I believe we're going to HSO8.
Okay.
And I believe we want to walk down this walkway onto the shores.
So I can't move it because the game is paused.
Correct. Woo!
Thank you. Here we go. I'm happy to lead again.
You've
Okay.
got the Pathfinder ability, so I think you should lead.
I can
So again,
keep
to
watch.
get to the party sheet that lets you kind of automate the travel options. If you go to the home tab and click on the compass in the bottom left, that opens up the tab for you. And sort out all our travel goodness.
Yep. You want us to roll our things?
Yes, if you would be so kind.
Can I forage along the way and thus fail my roll and then push it to gain willpower?
I guess another out of character thing really quick. So I did research based on our conversation at the end of the last game to kind of see rolling and success rate and stuff like that. I think we're on the right track with both with like number of willpower we're getting and also with like the success rate so far. So as long as I'm careful with dealing out bonuses and you guys kind of do your part of explaining like why maybe a bonus will be justified, I think we're good. So I'm going to stick with no pushing for like just travel rolls right now.
Min-maxing sake.
Yeah. Like you can push when it's dangerous or something's at stake.
I'll still try to forage though, if that's okay.
That's fine.
I just noticed I am encumbered. What does that mean?
Okay. So you're carrying too much stuff, so you can do something about that, or you take penalties especially on these travel rolls.
Can I?
So you guys did get a bunch of loot last game. So like, how do you want to sort that out amongst yourselves?
I'm not particularly strong. I also don't think any of us are particularly strong.
Yeah.
I'm over encumbered as well.
Also, I might be misunderstanding. I thought that we had, because I'm seeing here looking at the gear sheet that there's a weight thing going on. Is that different from the base rules where like you could carry 10 items, if I recall correctly?
That's kind of what I'm talking about. I don't know where the weight comes.
Where are you seeing weight?
Gear.
Under gear.
Top right corner, encumbrance.
Yeah, I would just rather go by the items than
A number.
Yeah.
And I think we're well under.
Yeah,
Okay.
well then I'm fine then.
Okay,
Yeah,
I see what you're saying. All right, everyone kind of choose their roles and have done their roles. Choose their roles of what they want to do and have rolled their dice to accomplish that.
Yep.
Okay. We are...
Hey.
Oh, good scouting roll.
Nice.
All right, foraging. So, Zernak, what are you looking for?
Whatever I find, suspicious-looking berries, small little chocolate Hershey's Kisses that I find on the ground. That's a joke. They'd be rabbit pellets. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, just whatever. Really, I want just more blind fire peppers. Blind fire peppers and flint moss would be my favorite because I know what those are and they rule.
Or those shadow lilies. Honestly,
Gross.
anything would be pretty cool.
Any adorable frogs.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's not really foraging.
Okay,
It's
since you're
fun.
still in Night Axe ogre territory, you find the bunches of orange, like kind of bright orange fungus that grows on dead trees, from which you can make a batch of the fungal tea that boosts willpower.
That's fantastic.
So
Great.
you have one party-wide dose that you can brew during some cooking downtime.
Great.
As for leading the way, okay, successful, and we dodged some encounters with our expert scouting here, so all good. Great rolls, good start to the game. So this first place is going to be just theater of the mind. So you break out of the verdant, hot jungle and kind of feel the welcome welcome cool breeze from off the island just kind of brush across all your sweaty faces, and the buzzing insects and other nuisances kind of fade away as well. And before you is a beach covered with outcroppings of basalt, kind of dark gray stone. And all along this beach are the bloated, still carcasses of gigantic gray whales. About half a mile of shoreline is covered with about 20 of these monstrosities. They're about as big as a ship that you were brought in on and that sank. And here and there, seabirds are swooping down on the whale carcasses and just ripping big hunks of flesh and pecking particularly around the eyeballs and stuff. And most notably, I'll say, since you did get a good scout roll, is you would all kind of expect the scent of death for so many dead bodies, but all you smell is the crisp ocean air and the salt on the wind.
I don't know whether to love that or hate that. To be fair.
Right.
Yeah.
What you doing?
Is there anyone around, or is it just carcasses?
Can you give me a new scout roll for this location?
Sure can.
If we tarry here, it will be harder to make our way south.
I'm gonna go ahead and just keep that a failure.
Okay. You don't see anyone around, and the only thing you know is one of the whales has been hacked into. It looks like large cubes of its flesh have been carved away and ported elsewhere, and a huge flock of birds has clustered that open wound. But again, just ocean smell.
Okay.
Isabel says, "Well, actually, I'm gonna look at that wound. I mean, I'm not getting up close to it, but does the wound look like it was like chewed or clawed out of it, or does it look like it was carved out with a weapon?"
I'd say you know enough. You don't need to roll for that, and it looks like very clean cuts with an extremely sharp weapon. The night axe ogres did tell you that they harvest these things as one of their main food sources. So.
Okay. So, I mean, we're not low on food, so I don't think we necessarily need to harvest dead whale meat.
Is this a fetid pool across from the shore?
So it's a kind of behind the beach is a lagoon. It is still, and there is a kind of like a very light scent of decay about it. It's got a lot of reeds and grasses poking up in it. And you see kind of like slight movement under the water of some small things.
I'll pull over the bookworm and I will ask him to help me identify some of these things growing around the pool.
Okay.
Great.
So you're gonna take some time. So we spent a watch traveling here. Are you gonna like kind of tarry and explore for a bit?
Yeah, or forage, whatever you want to classify.
Okay.
Spending time and kind of
Shall we move to afternoon?
analyze it.
Yeah. So we'll move to afternoon, and we'll get some forage rolls and scouting rolls going on. Whoever's doing what.
Can I use lore to try to figure out what in the book corresponds to what in reality?
Sure. What do you mean?
Well, so like I'm looking at this lagoon. Sorry, I'm doing that thing. Ja has asked me to identify what those plants are. They might be in the guide, they might not. I, of course, can search through based on your description, but I wondered if with a successful lore roll, I could just figure out, what the association is.
Sure. Yeah, that would make sense to me.
Let me hit it.
Oh no.
I do poorly, but remember, none of those skulls count. Can I
Right.
push this one?
You can, because this is things are at stake now.
I have done so, and it has been very pleasant for me. Those skulls don't give me willpower, though, because they were on my first roll, correct?
Correct.
Okay, well, it has still worked out in my favor. I am still a big fan of what has occurred.
Okay. Since that was a success, you're not really seeing anything in the handbook for like the kind of plants and grasses that are growing in the lagoon, but around its edge, you are seeing a woody shrub that it's growing these flower stems that are taller than you are, and the flowers are kind of the size of your chest or your head, and they are this kind of brilliant pink color with these red ribs running down that kind of like support them. And when you walk close, they darken into a drab green color. And so, since you spent some time reading the handbook, you would know that those are hidden hibiscuses that
Awesome.
you would recognize. So you can read about that and determine what you want to do about it.
I will. Thank
That's
you.
pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's a great use of that skill, by the way. I'm going to use that skill a lot.
What's everyone else up to? I'm gonna keep an eye out for any place along this cliff edge that would serve as a good camping spot for the night, just because we'll have like such a long heads up down the shoreway. If anything were
this
to
is
approach.
very interesting. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at the field guide. I actually found something really interesting. Please don't approach. Please don't approach quickly. They will respond. It detects rapid movement nearby, and if any of the blooms change their color to drab greens and browns, the entire plant will appear to wilt and wither. It's a defense mechanism, if you can imagine it. Alchemists use the roots to amplify creations to aid in natural camouflage. See, maybe that would be useful for you.
Yeah, that seems like a nice thing to pick very
Yes.
slowly.
We'll have to be very careful with it. But the true prize, apparently, is that the blooms, they can dramatically increase both physical and mental acuity for short periods of time, but only the bright blooms will do that. So we need a way to pick the bloom
Before
without it
turns.
appearing to shrivel and die, which might be a good use for a bow if your accuracy is excellent. Or if we can move stealthily up, which I know all of you can.
Yeah, I mean, I will gladly spend an hour approaching one slowly.
Wow. Okay.
We may
so,
need to return to camp after this.
Right. Okay, so I'll need a move roll. And since you are spending extra time, I'll give it. Sorry, what was that?
I was just gonna say, if you want somebody to sneak up on thing, well, I mean, if you want to do it, go ahead. I was gonna point out, Sizgul is really good at sneaking up on things.
Okay.
Can we
I'll-
help
On the
sneak?
other hand, he's
Can you
not
sort out?
he's not probably sure why you want this thing, so
What am I adding to this roll?
It will be a +2 since you are spending a bunch of extra time on it. So whoever wants to make that.
I'll take it.
There we go. All right. So can you kind of describe how you carefully move in and pluck some of these blooms?
Just like very slowly toe heel. Slowly move the next leg forward, toe heel. As I come up to it, I'm gonna take. I'm gonna borrow the chef's knife. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting your character's name.
Why don't you just call me elf or half elf?
The elf.
Yeah, I mean it's I forget too. It's in the it's in the Discord
Okay.
machine. Zernak. I
The other
I
Z.
really like. Yeah, I mean X amusingly. But
Okay,
regardless, I'm sorry. I do like that my guy is half elf and would be very identifiable as the elf or the half elf. Just FYI.
Perfect. I'm gonna ask to borrow your knife before I begin moving towards this thing.
Okay.
Without question, I will unstrap it from the leather sheath and hand it to you, hilt first.
And then I will tell you to make sure no one comes and bothers me, and I will be back either successful or not.
I can't promise anything other than I will try.
Yeah, do your best.
Of course.
And then I'll just, slowly approach, knife in hands, like other hand out, so that I can get close enough to then slowly towards the stem with both hands, standing still, getting up to the stem, touching the knife on the stem, and then just slowly doing cutting motions, like applying enough pressure that it's cutting in. And if it reacts in a certain way, like if it begins wilting just from, like it can feel the cut or something, I'm just going to immediately, like, cut right through it, right at that moment.
Okay. Yeah, so I will say that, like, as you begin to like saw at it, the hilt of your knife kind of like hits another bloom, and that one like folds up, and so you immediately kind of like chop through. I like that.
Okay.
Okay, so I will say you are able to harvest 3 of these before the plant kind of starts to react to you cutting these. So you have 3 blooms worth of material. So if you note that in the equipment list as well.
The ones that wilted.
Hall got those.
Yeah.
Bloom.
Yes, please. And
the ones that
those
wilted.
are hidden hibiscus.
Can I dig up their roots?
Yeah.
With our obsidian shovels.
Correct.
Correct.
Do you want me to roll for that, or
No, you can go ahead and dig those up.
3 roots worths or something?
Sure.
Or however many doses we get out of a root bushel.
Yeah, we'll just stick with 3.
Okay.
And go from there.
Sounds good. Petals are for acuity. Roots are for camouflage.
Yep, the blooms are specifically dramatically increase both physical speed and mental acuity for a short period of time, which sounds amazing. I don't know how to prepare them, but I'm prepared to waste them all finding out.
I'm willing to make this sacrifice.
Maybe my newfound craft skill will help us out. Although I think that's
Maybe
more appropriate for something else. Between a chef and a crafter, I feel like we could do it. We could figure
So I
something
wonder
out.
about the roots. Yeah.
All right. Anything else you're gonna do?
I'm more interested in moving on, to be honest.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Either that or
moves us-
find a place to start setting up camp a little early.
yeah, so all this activity is going to be moving us into dusk on the time tracker. So can we get some rolls to find a campsite?
Scout. I'll push that.
And you can't push for finding a campsite because that is a critical thing to kind of get you through the night safely.
Jokes. I will not push it, and I will confidently tell us a terrible spot.
I moved myself to make camp.
Wait, so you pushed or you did it?
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, I can?
You did well.
And it went well. Yeah, it's critical.
Okay,
Yeah.
then
So
yeah,
that one skull is from the first roll, and you got
right, and then I got
two
two
successes.
after, yeah.
Okay. So you actually find kind of right off the beach there a little clearing in the jungle, and it's in a bit of a lull between the hills. So you think even your firelight from a campsite would be pretty well hidden. So you have a good spot for the night.
Cool. I will go about setting up a campfire then.
Okay. What's everyone else going to do while Zernak is setting up camp?
I will look over the recipe for the fermented fight milk that we got, and I will once I will help set up camp to hurry the process along, to then potentially get assistance trying to brew some of this or assist someone.
Okay.
Better
So
talented.
I will say that you kind of review the recipe and see that it's something that needs to be kind of brewed like pretty soon before you use it. So like a morning tea, really.
Gotcha.
It's not something you want to drink before bed.
Okay, fair enough. In that case, I will just make sure we've got everything together to make tea in the morning.
Okay, great. What's everyone else doing?
Let me check on the rules very briefly. So I shouldn't brew the fungal tea now, because if I brew it and drink it, my willpower will reset to 1 in the morning. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, you'll probably sleep
Okay.
poorly. On top of that, drinking your fight milk, and yeah, just not a good use right before sleep, I would say.
Okay. So I'll just.
Did you have other rule questions, or that was it?
I think that was it. My other
Okay.
questions were going to be predicated upon that. So.
Great. Okay.
Do we want to try one of the blooms of hidden hibiscus to see if we know how to prepare it?
We might want to save it for the morning.
Okay.
We might get really weird dreams. Do it right before bed.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
So since that's something that like you weren't explicitly told a recipe or anything about it, like it's more for you to kind of figure out how to prepare it, how to use it.
Right.
Why don't we just go to bed super early and then wake up early to prepare all of this stuff? Because we want fight milk, we want a
Kinda what I'm
fungal
thinking.
tea. Huh?
Okay.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, cool. I'm going to call not keeping watch because that goes super poorly.
You can keep watch.
I honestly can. I should have 3 die or 4 die in it, but still, it's not ideal.
I have
Right.
6.
At least we'll have to have at least 2 watches to get us through our two watch periods of night. So if I can get those 2.
I'll do second watch.
Do we add anything to this?
So you can do a group roll for the 2 people keeping watch, so you can both get a +1 to your rolls.
Thank goodness.
Good. All right, the second one,
Can I push it?
you can push it.
So,
So
really,
like, so you can push things that there's a risk, like traveling, unless you're traveling to some place super dangerous or you're being pursued. Like it's not really risky.
But you can't push
Um,
fishing.
Camping, keeping watch at night, like that keeps you safe through the whole night. And so there is something writing on that.
so I know from the personal character sheet, there's an easy button to push for pushing.
Yeah,
But
it's on the.
from the group sheet, is there a keep watch push?
Oh, good
Probably go
point.
back to the
One, but I
character
can do it from my
sheet.
personal sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
from my character sheet. So it's scouting. Yep.
Hey.
Okay.
Nice. Okay, and that skull's the same, so we are successful. Okay. Gotcha. So during the night, you are pretty safe in your little hollow lair, and you get through the night. You do hear a few kind of like bestial screams, not too distant, probably within a few miles, but nothing disturbed you at your campsite. So we are on the morning of the 6th day, and aside from tea brewing, since you guys went to bed early, what kind of activities are you going to be doing? And that, I will be pretty lenient on like how much time some of this stuff takes, since you did note you went to sleep early and kind of prepared stuff at night. So
And we're
Are
at
you all-
dawn, right?
dawn, yes, sorry. So what are you trying to accomplish in the morning?
I'd like to do the 2 things. I'd like to try to separately brew teas of the fungal tea. And to be
Okay.
clear, that was 1 dose for the entire party.
Correct. So
Does everyone want fungal tea?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Very
okay,
good.
great. So you know the recipe. Lil Can kind of told you the ins and outs of like the tricks of preparing it. So no rules are needed as long as you have the ingredients in time. You all have your extra willpower, so you all have 2. 1 for sleeping, 1 for the tea, to get you through this day. Onto the hidden hibiscus. What are you going to be doing?
I am going to try to. I don't have a mortar and pedestal, which is what I would really need to render it down to powder. I don't have the time to dry it, though that would be a good step to take. Literally, the most effective thing that I can imagine is brewing it, or boiling it as a tea again, and then drinking the whole thing and eating the bloom. And my question to the party is, who wants to do that? because I can brew it, but someone's got to take it. It can be me, but maybe somebody with extreme capacity for violence would prefer to.
I would love
very
to.
Violent. Go for it.
I will, using the, how am I brewing things, by the way? Am I just using that obsidian bowl? I'm using the obsidian bowl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll use that. I'll first brew up the fungal tea. We'll all drink that. And then, oh, my notes don't save. That's frustrating. Anyway, and then once I have brewed that up, I will then brew up the hidden hibiscus, one of the three, and hand it to Ja.
Okay. So you said you boiled it?
Yeah, like making a tea.
Okay. Okay, Ja, so you consume it without hesitation?
Oh yeah, I trust him.
Okay, so Ja, you eat this extremely tart bloom. The boiling doesn't seem to have moderated the flavor much at all, and if it did, this thing would have been just
Even worse.
unbearable raw.
Yeah. My face implodes.
Yeah, the saliva glands in your mouth are just like cramped and just trying to process this. And,
My favorite state.
And you kind of feel your heart speed up and kind of like it's ramming a nice little drum beat in your chest, but so you are going to get a +1 to anything to do with agility for the rest of the day, but you feel that from what you read in the guide, that might not have been the best way to prepare it. Something a little more kind of directly into this, like some way to get it
Mainline.
bigger dose into your system. Something in that direction, like into your system faster, like a more concentrated dose. You think all this, like you just feel that the time spent boiling and then consuming it is just a little bit slow.
Can I look at one of the blooms and see if it has, the pistil and the stamen or whatever we call it? Is that like coated in pollen?
Yes, it is.
I'll give one a shot.
Snort it.
What do you mean? You're gonna eat it raw?
No, I'll try inhaling some of the pollen, see if it changes how my brain does function.
Great.
Like cocaine.
He begins flying.
Maybe.
Yeah. So you just take this huge huff of the powder and you just taste this like kind of like tart flavors coming down the back of your throat, and you immediately sneeze. You can't really stop it, but you sit there and you kind of look at your friends, and all of a sudden there's this pounding drum in your head that's your pulse, and you will go ahead and get a bonus to +1 to mental acuity and physical speed rolls for the day, and
I did it. I solved the mystery.
Pretty good.
I figured it out.
Is that agility and wits, or what is
Yeah,
the
sorry.
+1 to? Okay.
Wits and agility, correct. And then you just have the agility.
I think we should cook at more of these. I think we should cook at all of these. I think that you guys are really stealthy. You can
Guys, do you want to
get
start a
into it.
business?
I think that we should cook at all of them. Yes, we should actually start a business. Honestly,
Zernak,
if we can find a way to cultivate these.
Another hidden hibiscus plant, and they all like wilt.
Yeah,
Normally,
it goes
earlier.
way too quick about it.
No, but hear me out. Listen, guys, listen to me really carefully, really quickly. Listen, you guys are very careful. You guys are very sneaky. You guys can absolutely deal with this. I can figure it out. I can figure out how to farm with them. I can figure out how to cultivate them. We know they live in a lagoon. I suspect that's a saltwater lagoon. I bet that we can make a business out of this. The masters will have to let us out if we can get them a constant supply of this. I assure you.
Yeah, that's a
And I
great
go
point.
up like that.
My friend, this is a great
I know.
idea. You know, if we find a whole batch of this, we could make the teas, we can make the powders, the snuff. What other things can we make? There must be plenty of products we can make from this. And the roots, what do we do with the roots?
I think that an ointment. I think it has to be an ointment. In
Well,
fact,
that's a great
honestly,
idea.
why don't we do that right now?
Yes, fill my
I don't
boots.
have a mortar. Yeah, so I'm going to, unless people stop me, I'm going to get some of the roots and start grinding them into powder or ointment. And you guys might need to direct me to the actual adventure.
I'm
which I am totally on board with as a
100%
player.
vibing with
And
this.
Phil's just kind of watching him and waiting for him to, like, start bursting out in boils or something.
Right. I'm waiting for the addiction to settle in.
Oh, I'm already addicted. I assure you.
Got any of them flowers?
Yeah.
Solid window. We know how they work now.
Yeah, nice. All right, so once you get your friend calmed down from harvesting and grinding the roots into a fine powder, what's everyone else going to be doing?
I'm kind of fine with the idea of starting a business, to be quite honest. I'm alright with that.
Perfect. We'll grow them
Yes,
underneath our keep.
It sounds lower. It sounds lower risk than trying to sneak up on dire hogs.
Right. I see dollar signs out of this or whatever currency signs. In my
Oh, yeah.
eyes.
I think that we should probably get down to the place of ways, make sure that we have a way off the island so that we can meet the boat, and then use the place of ways to get back here and begin our plan of cultivating these en masse as a way of paying off our masters and getting them to remove our brands. I'll be frank with you, I don't think that it's going to require more than a couple of seasons.
Now, how do we keep
in.
others from finding or interfering with our cultivation?
That's where you come in, Siskel. You'll murder them.
Okay,
This is great. I'm
that
about
sounds
this.
fine.
Let's put a
Okay.
pin in it. Move on south.
So, where are you moving from here? HS12 or HS13?
I believe 13, yes?
Yeah, so from 13 we'll go to which one, the blank one, or we're gonna go to 12 anyway?
If there's a way... In 13, I'll climb up a tree and poke out and look around. Just kind
So
of make
you
an
are moving?
informed choice, you know?
Okay, so where you are, you're going to be climbing a tree?
No, we'll go to 13
I
prior.
think, yeah, we can go to
Okay.
13.
Does that bring us to morning?
Yes, that does take us in the morning. Can I get another set of scouting rolls?
And we all drink our fight milk, our morning fight milk.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone's
Lean the
everyone's
weekend.
pumped up, and some of you are a little more pumped than others.
Awesome.
What does fight milk do again?
Willpower.
It's
plus
plus
one.
one willpower. So everyone has 2 willpower for the day, and then you folks have your boosts.
Do we know if this stuff is addictive?
Not yet.
me?
The tea or the hibiscus?
Wait till you
Uh,
get a habit going.
Fight milk.
So that's the tea. I mean, Lokan, did I mention anything about it?
Seemed
again?
fine. Seemed fine to me.
Lokan didn't mention anything about addiction to you.
Right.
So desperate for willpower.
Little man,
I'll
you
take
do
one
not
away.
seem like the one who would worry about such things.
That was to you, Siskel, I believe, this time.
Yes, the small
Okay.
one.
I would just like to know if we're getting addicted to something.
So you can kind of, if you're paying attention to this, you can make a roll at the end of the game to see if addictions are forming. So let's see what kind of roll I would.
Javik, can I just, as a narrative mechanism, declare myself to be super addicted? Because I am. Okay.
Morbidly addicted.
Oh yeah, it's a problem now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can make a kind of healing roll over a period of a few days of like seeing multiple doses being taken of things to determine if there's addiction potential, and then otherwise like it's just kind of based on any effects you guys might feel when you stop taking.
It's like melange, where he's got to start sitting in a vat of liquid. Liquid blooms.
I'm pretty sure.
But
we'll
he
have
could
the
see into
same
the future,
effect, too.
so it's great.
Turn into a giant caterpillar almost immediately.
Yeah.
Like you guys turned around and I'm smoking a hookah. No one knows where I got it.
God Emperor of the Hot Springs.
All right, can I
Yeah.
get some scouting rolls on your travels to HS13 there?
Absolutely.
Just so you know, I'm forever foraging for the fungal tea.
And you folks with your bonuses, make sure you're rolling those in.
I'm gonna push it.
I got the +1 to agility, but not wits.
Right,
And then a group roll is a +1.
that's right. No, so group roll is plus per person.
Okay.
So
Oh, compass, right.
Did I roll one too many?
I think you're good.
Okay.
That's good. Okay,
Hey.
Nice roll.
very nice. So you're looking
Infinite
for
fungal.
more tea.
Yeah, I'm obsessed
Uh,
with that stuff.
Same.
Need it.
I'm so happy we got the recipe.
You me too.
Okay. Yeah. So with that roll, that was really good. You do find another dead log with that orange fungus on it, and you are able to harvest another party dose.
Hell
Fantastic.
yeah.
Yay!
Keep the gravy train rolling.
That's right.
And scout roll was good. Okay. So HS13.
Ooh.
So there's not a lot of. So, like is kind of shown in this image, a lot of what you're seeing here are these large rocks along the coast that are just smoothed by the tide, and here and there are geysers of lava or these slow flows, as you see in this image here, kind of like slowly dumping down a cliff and into the sea, and the area is just kind of full of steam, and for the most part there isn't a lot of visibility, but you with that good scouting roll you are able to find a high point, and so you're trying to kind of gain insight on what's in the surrounding hexes. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Is this place, based on the photo, I'm very worried about being burned alive. Is that a risk here?
So
If we
Or
wander
is
in
it
the
my
wrong
overreaction
place.
So-
as a tree?
we're not quite into like the heart of the lava flow yet, so for the most part it's just the
Steamy.
black volcanic rock, and then here and there's these sections where lava is bursting through from beneath, so you can kind of scout around and see well ahead the smoke and steam rising and stuff, or sometimes when you're walking along that black volcanic rock you just see an area that's just shimmering with heat from like something right below the surface, and you're able to go around it here. So we're not into the full danger area yet. Let's just give it a little flavor here with the image.
Cool.
So,
Do you want to scout?
whoever is scouting, you can give me a plus for everybody in the party helping you, and then your own, whatever your bonuses are.
Really?
Hey.
That's a success.
I would
Do you
like to
wanna-
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I've got a freestyle a prayer to Magog.
Okay.
Just why not?
See if he listens.
Yeah.
What kind of things are you saying in this prayer?
I'm just going to clasp my hands by the lava flow. I am going to say, Mighty Gog Magog, I was stranded here without my permission or my will. Give me the power. If you give me the power to seek vengeance, I shall seek it. I shall seek it regardless either way. And leave it at that.
Okay. You do feel a little thrill up your spine, kind of like a new surge of adrenaline. You're not sure if it's kind of effects of the hibiscus or
Fucking
your
hibiscus.
prayer.
Oh, he's with me now. I know that.
He's in the hibiscus.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let me
I'm
tell
gonna
you
be-
to the east and south. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm going to be such a dangerous person after I am hopped up on all of this and bound to the god of vengeance. It's going
Yeah.
to be unbelievable.
I'm a
Anyway,
fan of the new Zarnak. The new
Right.
and improved Zarnak.
yes, I
Cocaine
agree, this is a
fueled
solid
zealot.
improvement. Anyway, go. I'm sorry.
Okay, so yeah, okay. So you kind of, as I said, you found this high point along the coast and kind of seeing past the steam clouds and such and looking into the surrounding areas. So looking to the west into 12,
Mhm.
you see kind of this huge area of like verdant jungle, kind of a bit lower than your current position now, and through it here and there it looks like there were old kind of rivers of lava that flown through and made these paths or almost like roads of volcanic rock. And
Are they kind of like half pipes, for lack of a better word?
you think maybe here and there you see some half pipes.
Okay, cool.
You also see maybe a few kind of among those clearings in the lava rock, maybe some signs of old battlefields, and you do see on the very edge of your vision, you kind of catch a glimpse of again that one of those gigantic centaur-shaped, kind of like a centaur elephant of black rock, walking just kind of across a ridge, and much larger than
Made of rock.
any human. And then to the south, you see more open beach and these kind of like ridges of stone that kind of lift the surrounding land into a cliffside that the lava's kind of flowing around to the north and south, so it's actually a little less dangerous than your current position. And other than a lot of seabirds and such, you're not really seeing a lot of activity in this direction.
These elephants are made of rock.
Yes, so they look to be made of stone, and from what the night ogres told you, they are some kind of creatures of living obsidian. So they it's like this kind of like centaur of like this humanish upper body with like this elephant face
bottom.
with these kind of like razor sharp tuck of stone, and then the whole body is stone.
Man.
And then they're always kind of, you can't really see it for this one at the distance, but you're told they're always kind of surrounded by their own personal army of obsidian humanoids.
Hate that.
Yeah.
Noted. And I will share with the party as I come down the tree, or wherever I'm looking from.
Okay.
That sounds super awful.
Do you think we could skirt around them, or should we just straight up avoid them?
You're asking us?
Yeah.
I think we could sneak.
Yeah.
I think we could sneak.
We're
I think
pretty.
I think as you're describing, those things don't have a good turning radius, and they may not be able to look over their shoulder as well. They might be able to give them a good
We're pretty
sneak
small. I mean, we can get hopped up and just, like, worst comes to
Zoom.
worst, we bolt. We get the zoomies and we go.
Okay.
The zoomies.
These 3 white mannequins in them.
Okay, so you're gonna head over to 12?
Yeah. I want to make sure whoever's leading the way leads us along the southeastern edge of the hexagon and just skirt the line of 12.
Okay. So I will say, since you did scout ahead and you are taking those precautions, so you're going to get your bonus from your group support and then an additional +1 and then whatever bonuses you have.
Leading the way.
Yeah, so +4 plus your inherent bonuses.
And do you want to scout too?
Let me lead this way here.
Do you want a scout roll? Push it.
What? It's very neutral.
Can you push
Is
it?
that- Remind me, that's not a failure per se,
It's not
but
a
it's also not
success
a
either.
success.
Yeah. So nothing. So it's not a success. I'll just say it that way. You
Right.
you didn't roll any sixes, but nothing extremely bad happens. Yes.
This is your call, but I feel like we need to be
So there's no
successful
risk
getting
in
through
pushing
here.
it. There's no
Yeah.
risk in pushing it.
Ah, shit.
I made a mistake. So I get a willpower. I haven't rolled a skull in a long time, so I get 1 willpower and then I lose.
You take damage to wits, I believe, for leading or survival. Yeah. And then you gain a willpower. So we will have 3.
Did you want a scout roll
Yeah, we'll need a scouter.
with the 4 for the group?
Too much
That's right.
Hopefully I see
Nice.
it coming.
Okay.
So we successfully move to HS12.
You can move us to 12. Let's take a 10-minute break here.
Fingers crossed.
Should we be studying something?
No.
I'm just
I
gonna
don't
put
think you guys are
Zernak
putting
under
up
my
into-
arm, ready to run.
Do a little prep here. So
Okay,
take a
that's
break.
good.
See you guys at 9:10.
We're about to get in a fight. Oh no.
Whoa, memes.